Hey, it's the big man Genesis from Power 96.5. I have the privilege of hanging out with another one of our 2024 Lansing legends, Kelli Ellsworth-Etchinson. How are you this morning?
I am good.
Great. Well, thank you for letting us hang out with you. First of all, you are the Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Diversity Officer for LabQ, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. How long have you been in that role?
So the Chief Diversity Officer came in 2020. Prior to that, the Marketing Officer role came, I think, in 2015 or 2016.
Okay. Now, prior to those roles, what were you doing with LabQ?
A lot of different things. I built our brand, so I was Vice President of Community and Business Development. I've been Vice President of Sales and Service. I've been our Business Development Rep. I have worked in the front line in our loan department. So a lot of things in my 35, soon to be 36 years here at LabQ.
Awesome. So you have pretty much touched every facet of LabQ. Been very influential and important too, it seems like, every piece of LabQ.
Yeah, the latter, okay. I would say, because there are pieces of LabQ that I have not touched. Yeah, but I do think that my roles I've had at LabQ has influenced a lot of things here at LabQ.
Well, that is amazing. So I guess I've already asked a first question, but my first question in my own notes, how does it feel to be nominated as a Lansing legend?
When I got the call, I was like, wait, what? But I guess that's what happens when you've been in the space for a long time. You don't realize it because I feel like I'm still like 30 and I know I'm not.
Sure.
And I have to recognize and be humble and grateful that people see this in me, that they see that I've been able to influence a space in the financial industry, now in the diversity, equity, and inclusion world, that people see that I have influence. But it's really driven out of my passion to just be a servant.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think in that space, you always have to remain in servant mode, because the minute it becomes anything else, you failed your mission, right?
Exactly.
That's how I've always felt about that. What's been your greatest accomplishment since moving to the new roles that you have, or fairly new roles you have?
Well, of course, just being able to have such a dynamic team that helps me also look good. But I want to say, just to talk about the diversity, equity, and inclusion role for a minute, I think that is, I feel like I've really been called for this role. So there's roles that you learn through education and you just learn it by doing, right? And then there's something that pastors are called to preach. To do the diversity work, I feel like you have to be called to, because it's hard work to really be able to try and affect change and have conversations with people that don't want to see you even in the room, to have those conversations, but being able to have conversations also with the policymakers, and how do we really, outside of the walls of LabQ, how do we still affect change? And so I think that's my proudest work, is being able to have influence in those spaces and really, really begin to make a difference in our communities. And when I talk about our communities, I'm talking about underserved, those that are voiceless, those that don't have a seat at the table, that need someone to help amplify the voice, the message, the work.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And I think every industry needs someone in that space. So kudos to you for being that person in the financial space, in the Lansing community. We definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. Now, what would you say? I've asked this question a couple of times, and I've gotten some really interesting answers. And I found this to be the case with myself. People that are working towards being really successful, or people that are in a successful space, have a daily routine. What does your daily routine look like, or do you have one?
So my daily routine, as soon as I get up in the morning, I look at my scripture for the day. I turn on gospel music, and that's what I start to feed my soul with, to prepare me for the day, because the day you start out with, this is what I have to do, but then the day happens, and as it unfolds, I just began to embrace and be nimble of things that happen. So once I arrive at work, I may have on my to-do list, if you will, the things that I have to get done, like projects I'm working on, but I may get pulled in many directions. I come into the lobby, and as you saw when you walked in the door,
Yeah.
I'm assisting a member. So that can take 5 minutes, depending on the situation, or it may take 20 minutes. But I'm going to help that member until that member is satisfied. So there's lots of things. I would say it's not one thing.
Okay.
Right? It's not like a planned out. Some
Right.
people are planners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can't deviate from that plan. This is not like, in an executive position, I don't think that you can be so reliant on being a planner.
Sure.
Just because you'll have staffing issues one moment that, you get here and maybe people aren't able to come to work because they're sick or what have you. So you're navigating different things that may happen. You may have something that happens with your systems, so there's not any one set of routine that I go by every single day, other than starting my day out with the Word and starting my day out with gospel music.
Awesome. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that for sure. What would you be doing if you weren't working in banking? Just out of curiosity, what was like a dream career that you had once upon a time?
For sure, hands down, I'd have a tool belt on, and I'd be remodeling.
Really?
I'd be decorating. Yep, for sure, hands down.
Do you still do some of that now, or?
I do it, in my
projects.
Yes, yep, in my home, but for sure, yep, without a doubt.
So would that be something that you might do for fun, or what do you do
for fun, not for hire?
Okay.
For fun.
So what's your downtime like? What do you do to unwind?
So my husband and I, we do like to sometimes binge watch some things on streaming networks. I have a couple of books that I'm reading at the same time, and so I'll pick them up, read a little bit, put them down for a little bit, then come back to them. And so the book that I'm reading right now is Cast: The Origins of Our Discontent by Isabel Wilkerson.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so my downtime is really relaxing with my husband.
Nothing wrong with that. What kind of advice can you give to 18-year-old Kelli about life?
So my 18-year-old, because my 18-year-old, the real 18-year-old was on MSU's campus trying to get to the next party and taking my books to a party.
Oh, okay.
But today, if I had to look back and advise my 18-year-old self, I would say, you know what? Take time to, smell the roses, enjoy life, be in that moment. I couldn't wait to be grown. Like I was trying to hurry things up and be grown. I would say just kind of sit back and just enjoy being 18.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not anything deep, no deep advice, but just sit back and enjoy that space where you are, because the rest of it's going to take place. That's what I would, as opposed to, I can't wait to be grown. I can't wait to get my own place. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that.
Well, I got stories about that. Yeah. Well, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time. And again, congratulations on being a 2024 Lansing legend.
Well, thank you. Thank you.